Have you ever wondered if you should go on a date? In this video, we'll do a 3-card reading to answer that question. Hi everybody, I'm Sue Ellen Clayton. Welcome to my channel where we're learning how to read tarot 1 card at a time. In today's video, we'll be using a 3-card spread to figure out whether a woman should go on a date. I will be using the Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and there's a link below. This question was posted anonymously online by a woman who I will call Maya, and her question was, should I go on a date with him next week? Maya drew 3 cards and an additional card from the bottom of the deck. Although she did not mention using a spread, I will be using the gut feeling spread to help figure out whether she should go on a date. Card number 1 shows what Maya's head says about the date, and she drew Justice. Card number 2 shows what Maya's heart says about this date, and she drew Strength. And card number 3 shows what Maya's intuition says about this date, and she drew the World. Maya also drew the Wheel of Fortune from the bottom of the deck. Let's talk about my first impressions. What is amazing is that we have 4 major arcana cards. I'm not sure what the chances are of this happening, although there are some people who only read with major arcana cards, so that may be what happened. However, it indicates that this date is a big deal and has the potential to be life-changing. The cards are all upright, and these cards have more positive meanings in the upright position. This may be significant, or Maya may just be someone who doesn't read reversals. The first 3 cards are all female. I feel like these cards represent how Maya will feel if she goes on her date, and I think that would be strong and empowered. We have sunshine or blue skies in all 4 cards. Let's look at each card individually. We'll start with the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. The card at the bottom of the deck looks at underlying issues, hidden influences, or root causes of the issue. It generally represents unconscious factors that you're not aware of, including your fears, emotions, or desires. It can also provide advice or clarification beyond what we see in the first 3 cards. I think this is a very interesting card because the Wheel of Fortune represents turning points in life. It is generally considered to be a good omen and that you will experience good luck. The 4 winged creatures on the corners indicate that her date is not just about luck, it's also about learning and fate. These are the same people or creatures that we see in the world. They represent the 4 elements, air, water, fire, and earth, as well as the 4 evangelists from the Bible, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. All of the creatures are holding books which symbolizes wisdom and the lessons learned throughout life. I think the Wheel of Fortune is one of the most complicated cards in the deck, which tells me that one of the messages is that relationships are complicated and based on a lot of factors. On the top left is a man or an angel. It represents the element of air. In tarot, this is represented by swords and is all about thoughts and communication. It also represents the astrological sign Aquarius and Matthew from the Bible. At the top right is an eagle. It represents the element of water. In tarot, this is represented by cups and is about emotions, intuition, and our connection with spirit. It also represents the astrological sign Scorpio and John from the Bible. At the bottom left is a lion. It represents the element of fire. In tarot, this is represented by wands and is about action, passion, and creativity. It represents the astrological sign Leo and Mark from the Bible. And the final figure we see is a bull. It represents the element of earth. In tarot, this is represented by pentacles and is about the material world and practical things of life, which includes our health, our home, and how we earn a living. It represents Taurus and Luke from the Bible. We see 3 other figures on this card. The Sphinx is a mashup of the 4 creatures and elements that we just talked about in the corner. It has a human face, the body of a lion, the tail of a bull, and the wings of an eagle. The swords represent judgment and the rule of fate. Anubis, which is the winged creature holding up the wheel, is the Egyptian god of the afterlife and protector of the dead. He has the head of a dog and accompanies souls on their way to the afterlife. He is facing upward and represents the upward or constructive force of fate. Finally, we see the 2-headed snake. This represents Seth, which is an ancient Egyptian god who could see forward and backward. In Greek, he was known as Typhon, and he was believed to personify evil and destruction. You can see that he is facing downward, which shows the downward roll of fate. I'm sure these images sum up what dating is like these days, especially when you meet someone online. You're really not sure what you're going to get. I think spinning a wheel is a great metaphor for dating. An additional interpretation is that relationships are cyclical, at least they are in my experience. There are highs and lows, twists and turns, and times when things are better and times when things are worse. Even if Maya finds Mr. Right, she needs to be aware that the good times won't last forever, but neither will the bad times. The wheel will keep on turning because that's how life works. Nobody gets off the wheel of life unscathed. However, Maya can't experience anything unless she actually gets on the wheel. So I think that the underlying message is that even though dating can be complicated and a good outcome is not guaranteed, Maya needs to take a risk with her date, go out with him, and see where the relationship goes. Now let's look at the other cards. Card number 1 shows what Maya's head says about this date, and she drew Justice. The Justice card is about discovering the truth and making fair, logical decisions. She holds the sword of truth in her right hand. This represents cutting through the issues to find the truth. The sword has 2 edges, which represents that actions always have consequences. The scales in her left hand show that Justice is impartial and weighs both sides of an issue before she makes a decision. On either side of Justice are pillars. These represent truth and law, both things that are very important for a judge, and indicate that she is unbiased and will make a fair decision. All of this is to say that Maya is thinking hard about this decision, probably overthinking it. She's weighing the pros and cons of this date and trying to be very logical. She wants to know everything she can about her date so that the truth will be revealed beforehand and she won't have any surprises. In looking at the other cards, I think that she also believes that it's time for her to meet Mr. Right. Justice is a card of fairness. I often say that it's like Santa's naughty list. If you're good, you get what you asked for. If you're bad, you get coal in your stocking. I believe that Maya thinks that a good date is overdue. She's had a lot of bad experiences, and she's telling herself that it's time for a good one. The Strength card shows someone who is very powerful and courageous, but in a gentle way. Her power comes from self-confidence, patience, and kindness, not from forcing her way on others. In Strength, we see a woman who has her hands in the mouth of the king of the jungle, yet his back is arched and he looks like he's a big kitten. I feel like Maya is a very strong, courageous person, but she's also afraid of what might happen. Lions are scary. They are known to be the kings of the jungle for a reason. They are large, strong, and fast. They also have very sharp teeth. At a deep level, Maya is afraid, and that's probably a realistic fear in the dating world, especially because I'm assuming that she's meeting him for the first time. However, as we learned in the previous card, Maya strives to be very logical and tends to overthink things. She needs to know that she is stronger than she thinks, despite her gentle manner, and trust that she will be able to handle whatever happens on this date. Her date may initially present as some kind of confident alpha male that is a bit intimidating. However, she has the ability to look through that persona and see that he's really a pussycat inside. You've made it this far in the video, and I wanted to stop and ask for a favor if you're not already a subscriber, and that is to please hit the subscribe button. It's free for you, and it will also help me to grow this channel. Plus, it means that you won't miss anything. Thanks so much, and if you're already a subscriber, I truly appreciate your ongoing support. Now let's get back to the video. Card number 3 shows what Maya's intuition says about this date, and she drew the World. The World card represents the end of the Fool's journey. We see the Fool progress from a naive youngster in card 0, standing on a cliff, to the woman in the world. This is a card about completion, fulfillment, happiness, enlightenment, and success. The person has overcome obstacles and reached an important destination in their life. Maya's intuition is telling her that this guy is the one. She's made it through the ups and downs of the dating pool, with personalities ranging from the deception of the magician to the darkness of the devil. Maya believes that this is the person who she is going to dance through life with. Her intuition tells her that she has reached the end of her life as a single person and is ready to start life anew in a relationship. So let's summarize whether or not Maya should go on the date next week. I think the answer is a resounding yes. We began by looking at the Wheel of Fortune and determined that Maya needs to take a risk, go on this date, and see where the relationship goes. We noted that relationships have their ups and downs, but she can't have a relationship unless she actually gets on the wheel. In card number 1, Justice, we looked at what Maya's head said about this date. We can see that Maya is weighing the pros and cons and trying to be very logical about whether she should go on the date, probably to the point she's overthinking it. Card number 2, Strength, shows what Maya's heart says about the date. We can see that Maya is very fearful and that her date may initially seem to be a bit intimidating. Maya needs to remind herself that she's stronger than she thinks, and despite her gentle manner, will be able to handle whatever happens. Card number 3, The World, shows what Maya's intuition says about the date. Maya believes that she's found the person she wants to spend her life with, that her dating days are over, and she's ready to move forward with this relationship. I hope that this video gave you some ideas that you can apply to your tarot practice. Please leave a comment if you'd like to share what you learned. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.